284A13, line 22f1fa19a13, volcanic glass beads, Martian ice, Apollo 17, LRO, 5G Wow Seti. There's the alien radio signal. And here is the picture of volcanic glass beads from Google. Aren't they pretty looking? Misty moon, water molecules and green glassy spirals brought back from the moon, such as those shown here, indicate that the early moon was not as dry as researchers assumed. Image NASA. Quote, researchers have found the first evidence of past water on the moon. Trace water molecules trapped in glassy volcanic pebbles brought back to Earth by Apollo astronauts in the 1960s and early 1970s. The pebbles, known as lunar volcanic glasses, were formed more than 3 billion years ago when molten underground rock magma erupted from the lunar surface in fiery sprays and solidified. Using a highly sensitive type of mass spectrometry, which sorts particles by size and charge, researchers scanned the lunar samples for elements and molecules that boil at low temperatures referred to as volatiles. Along with water, they discovered chlorine, fluoride, and sulfur in the 0.1 to 0.2 millimeter glasses. 0.1 millimeter is 4,000ths of an inch. The concentration of all the volatiles decreased toward the edges of the samples, indicating that they were not earthly contaminants. For the new study, researchers from Brown, the Carnegie Institute of Washington, and Case Western Reserve University applied a technique called secondary ion mass spectrometry. They inserted the glasses in a sample holder made of the metal indium to minimize the presence of other gases. Then they applied a tightly focused beam of cesium ions designed to dislodge volatile atoms or molecules with micron, thousandths of a millimeter precision. They scanned the beam over the sample to map the concentration of volatiles. Based on models of degassing, the soda fizz-like escape of gas from rock, they estimated that the moon once contained 750 parts per million of water in its mantle, which they note is similar to the water content of Earth's upper mantle. It's a little bit startling because you don't expect to find indigenous water in any lunar sample, says geologist Paul Sputis of the Lunar and Planetary Institute in Houston. Most researchers believe the moon formed some 4.5 billion years ago when a Mars-sized body smashed into Earth and knocked a piece of it loose, which became the moon. Lacking evidence of lunar water, most scientists had assumed that the collision vaporized any hydrogen capable of forming water. Sal says people convinced themselves there was not water. Prior scans of the moon have turned up possible evidence of frozen water and shadowy craters at the moon's poles, similar to Martian ice recently uncovered by NASA's Phoenix lander, but follow-up studies proved inconclusive. NASA plans to send its Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO, to the moon later this year, along with the Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite, LRO, which will impact the lunar South Pole in 2009 to settle the case. If ice is found, Sal says it would be possible to check whether it's represented the same ancient water in glasses preserved in polar cold spots. But Spoots says that is unlikely because in the course of 3 billion years, the lunar cold spots would have changed positions if the moon's spin axis drifted, meaning that whatever is frozen there today wasn't necessarily frozen there in the past. The bottom line, he says, is the discovery shows that whatever the early history of the moon and its earlier accretion of water, it's not a simple process. So that's from Scientific America. Okay, and we'll go to the next video now.